Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so, whew, yesterday was a day I didn't have it, and I adhered to it, meaning physically, I did not have it. I was so exhausted, I needed to sleep during the day. Today, I feel the exact same way, and I just didn't care. I got out here anyway, did everything I had to do, walked the hills, all that good stuff. But I'm telling y'all, man, I feel like I could just lay down for like 3 hours and sleep right where I stand right now. That's how tired I feel, but still walking. No bus needed, none of that. Just keep walking. Here's my mentality. So, yeah, it's a little warm today, but it's not crazy. It's probably like 84, 83 degrees, something like that. And we're getting closer to the summertime, so this is cool weather compared to what I'm expecting is coming. All the more reason why I needed to get out here and keep pushing, because it's going to get hotter and you want to be conditioned for it. I want to go into it in a much better space than I was in last year around this time. So that's the plan, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, man, it's very tense. Everybody's looking at each other crazy. I don't know if I look like a ICE agent or what, but I got people looking at me like I'm about to take them away. I don't know, man. It seems like we always blame each other. Anytime something's going on, brown blaming black, black blaming brown, we always look at each other like we about to take each other down, because a lot of times that's who we have in place doing all the heavy lifting. It's black ICE agents, Mexican ICE agents, South American ICE agents. And a lot of them look like me. So I'm getting the looks that come with that. It's one of the reasons why I stopped being a security guard, because I didn't like that energy pointed at me. I don't like that energy pointed at me. I ain't never lived my life to take anything from anybody or stop anybody from doing anything, man. I never welcome that energy, so I don't welcome that energy, if that makes any sense. But it is what it is, man. People are tense, people are scared, people don't know what the hell. Who the hell? A lot of these dickheads are walking around dressed up like they're regular citizens, you know. So people are looking at regular citizens like they're ICE agents. So that's exactly what's happening out here, man. I'm getting all of that. It's getting pointed in my direction everywhere I go. I don't know. People can sense that most of my family is military or something. I don't know, but I ain't military. I ain't none of that shit, man. I'm a civilian. So I don't like that energy pointed at me. But it is what it is, man. Just gotta keep walking. I tell God, man, that's why I didn't want to be a security guard no more, bro. That's exactly why. Because I got sick of that energy. I walk around in that uniform, people look at me like I'm about to brutalize their ass or smoke them or something. I was like, shit, I don't get paid enough. Nor am I trained well enough, nor do I desire to do any of that, to be even in this, to wear this hat. That's the way I looked at it. And I ain't been a security guard since I decided I was never going to feel like that again. I don't want to enforce anything but the truth onto those who ignore it. That's the only enforcement I want to actually engage in. But you know, it just is what it is, man. Like I said, half the time people who are doing all the heavy lifting for white supremacy look just like me, if I'm being completely honest with myself. And they do that on purpose, so people will look at people just like me and give them the hell to do to come their way. That's why it's so harmful that people comply with that if they look brown or black. It's time for you guys to start understanding why they put you there and how much the harm that does to our reputation as a whole amongst one another. They didn't hire you in a lot of cases because you were the best person for the job. They hired you because you would do a great job of making everybody look at people like me and say he's a bad guy. Literally. And so, yeah, man, I'm over America as a whole, man. I don't even know if I want to die here, if I'm being honest with you. The older I get, the more I realize, man, as soon as I get a bag, I'm probably leaving this place. Probably leaving this place. Somebody dropped a couple $1 million on me, I'm probably leaving this place. Sick of the energy, sick of how people treat one another, and most importantly, I'm sick of what people agree to allow to happen to one another. We just be agreeing, yeah, let's it's okay, it's not happening to us, it's okay, let's just chase my dollar. I'm tired of all of that. None of that really ever vibed with my spirit at all, to be honest with you. And so now that I'm getting older and I'm watching what comes of it, now it's just like, man, it's an irritation just seeing anything and everything about it continue and tired of it all, man. But it is what it is, man. I was looking at somebody, man. I guess Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert yesterday in Detroit. SZA was waving the Mexican flags in solidarity with everybody who's going through this bullcrap. And I saw some dude in the comment section, random dude, saying she's disrespecting the flag because it's touching the ground. And I know that's something that people really believe. You know, they a lot of societies all over the world raise one another believe like if you let the flag touch the ground, it's like I don't know, somebody's head about to fall off or something like your hair just falls out of your head, something like that happens. It's a lot of stuff that we tell one another that just cannot happen, and then we enforce it with our intentions, and then we judge people based on those things. And I'm just in a space where I'm like, man, I'm not following y'all down the path of a lot of these things that people tell each other that need to be or don't need to be. I'm not following. You know? It was a poem that came to my head as I was walking to the train station. And it's very, very short. It's only 2 lines, or a couple lines. I didn't explain it. Off a cliff, you follow you all, but I will not fall. Those were the words, and they just kept playing over and over again in my head. I don't even know where they came from. I didn't think up those words, almost like they just popped up in my head. And I'm telling you, man, that's exactly what I see. It's just a bunch of people following each other off a cliff. And I'm not following. I'm not interested in falling off that damn cliff with you. I don't give a damn how many of y'all numbers y'all got. I don't care how many of y'all agree that falling off a cliff is the best thing for you. I don't care how many of y'all have convinced one another that you crave your bones shattering and your lives leaving your body. I'm not interested in any of that culture. You can have it. I'll stand over here and be weird while the rest of y'all follow each other off a cliff. I'm not doing it. If a woman's waving a flag, 2 Mexican flags, in solidarity with people that are not her own, and those flags happen to touch the ground because they're that big, the last thing anybody wants to hear is you being offended by that because them fucking flags touch the ground. Okay? I was gonna say that to anybody and everybody. It's the last thing anybody want to hear that has any damn sense at all. That ain't following something that was taught to them by somebody who told them something that didn't even have any consequence attached to it. It had no consequence. Nothing happens if the flag touches the ground except for you getting offended based on what you were taught. How many of these have we adapted to in our lives based on people teaching us stuff without explanations and us just going, yeah. Nothing happened. Literally nothing. The worst thing that happens is the flag needs to be washed now because it's touched the ground. It's the worst thing that happens. Nobody takes your rights away because the flag touches the ground. And if you got any thought independent of what it is that you were trained, not a tear is going to drop out of your eye nor a frown curl up on your face. So stop telling yourself something is something when it's really just there to make you be at odds with somebody else. That's literally all that's there for. That's literally all that's there for. It's to make you be at odds with someone else with this imaginary concern that holds 0 consequence. If not for the presence of what it is that ultimately you're going to be offended by adapting to it. Nothing happens. And there are many of those things in our lives, in our various communities, that we adapt to. And all they do is help us form negative opinions that end up ruining our overall morale and ultimately making us at odds with others. If not for the presence of that we don't even have as much of a reason to be in conflict or offended or unhappy or stressed or any of that. How many of those do you have in your community? How many of those do you have in your way of doing things? Can you identify them? Those things that you were taught without explanation that are supposed to make you judge others, if not for the presence of them being there, for that exact purpose. If anything, I just want people to understand, man, support comes in many fashions, and sometimes people don't know what offends you. Sometimes people don't know what has been done in the past and makes that word such a bad word. Yes, black people, that too. Yeah. I can't say this and not say that. It just is what it is. It doesn't mean that we want people to run around ignoring the fact that we have these issues or these things that offend us or these triggers. But we do want to acknowledge that they only hold the power that we ultimately give them. At the end of the day, they really only hold the power we give them. And the symbolism behind them is based on the hatred that was done, whether the symbolism was in place or not. The actions that were driven by hate, whether the symbolism was in place or not. My mother used to often tell me that N-word, people used to hang our people after and call them the N-word. People used to whip our people and call them the N-word. It's like the N-word wasn't the problem, it was the whipping. It was the hanging. They could have called us a child of God and hung us, it would have still sucked. The power that we gave the word is what ultimately allows for us to have such negative thoughts come up in our head, if not for the presence of us agreeing that this is an offensive thing that's supposed to trigger us all into triggering, into crashing out. Even I almost crashed out on somebody 2 months ago when a man called me that word. So I was walking down the street. And all the power I gave that man by being unhappy with him when he called me that word. I could have threw my whole life away. I've seen several people throw their whole lives away in moments like that. But him calling me that word, if not for the presence of me understanding what it means and what it represents, holds no consequence. No hair flies out of my head, no tooth falls out of my mouth. No dollar comes out of my account for the presence of them expressing what is supposed to trigger me into spaces that have me crashing out. I ain't saying I conquered this issue. I have not. I'm very much would be offended if you call me the N-word. I very much am offended if you call my sister the N-word or what have you, especially if you ain't black. But that speaks to the understanding of just how much that word really don't matter, because at the end of the day, if somebody calls me that and they are black, I'm not unhappy. How much power are we going to continue to give people, man? How much power do we continue to give ideologies? How much power are we going to give stuff that don't make teeth fall out of our face, nor hair out of our heads, nor dollars fall out of our accounts? I have to wonder. We're following one another in a path of agreement, and we're trying to overcome negative thoughts in our own heads. We're trying to overcome things that have us throwing our lives away. We're trying to overcome other people's agreements against us and what have you. But how difficult is it to overcome our own? When we're asking other people to immediately overcome theirs for our betterment and for our comfort, how difficult is it to overcome our own? It's the same thing I said in regards to killing roaches and how comfortable we are killing roaches, and how we don't have nobody holding us accountable for ending their lives or putting them through pain or trauma or genociding them. And we agree on that. And anybody's weird for telling us we're wrong for doing that. And I'm supposed to look at an Israeli in the presence of them looking at human beings in that same light with that same unapologetic, agreed upon, warped mentality. It's pointed at human beings. I can't agree with that in any way. I think that's the worst thing in the world. And if you were raised in a tribe, somewhere far away from where I'm at, and killing roaches is a killable offense, I'm a dead man. If they give people life for killing roaches, I'm gonna be stuck in their prison for the rest of my life for something that I agree is just fine and all right in my own society. Now, I draw the line with human beings and killing dogs and all that, but I don't draw the line at roaches. Well, if I can't draw the line at insects and roaches, then how can I expect someone who was raised to draw a line with my people or with your people? I'm not saying they shouldn't draw that line. I'm saying we need to start thinking about the lines we don't draw in the areas that we don't. Things that we just adapt to because of our society. Following one another off a cliff in whatever way we do. Being hypocrites in our own way. And thinking it's ridiculous because it's not drawn in the areas we all agree on. That line ain't drawn on this area. We all agree that that's fine. But if you cross the line that I agree with my people, that you cross, I don't care if you've heard of our way of doing things or not. You're still getting the same consequences, treatment, punishment, because that's our line and we don't cross it. And neither will you in our presence. I bet. And by those laws or that logic, people should be given a death penalty anytime they kill an insect. Ant, bug, fly, I don't give a damn what it is. Because you're still inflicting harm, you're still inflicting pain, you're still genociding. They should have rights to live. All of these different things we don't give a damn about because it's them. And we ain't never gonna question it because ain't nobody there advocating for their rights. Ain't nobody out there advocating for the end of their suffering. We can't communicate with them to hear how bad we've been treating them. They can't do nothing to us to retaliate so that we know how harmful what we've done to them is. They just gotta keep sitting there taking it, keep getting sprayed down, keep getting stomped out, keep going through God knows whatever it is. And we don't think none of it because it's insects. Nobody advocating for them. Ain't nobody putting nobody in jail for them. Ain't nobody picketing outside for them, burning down nothing for them. They just got to sit here and be stomped out every day. Kids stomped out, them stomped out, grandma, everybody stomped out. So we can have clean environments, feel safe, or whatever the hell. I just wonder where is it that we draw these lines tomorrow? If we continue on the path we're on right now, do we move the line in a different direction? Are we gonna start keeping people alive for killing roaches? Are we gonna be fine with genociding people, no problem? Like, where does this begin? Where does this end? What are we gonna agree to tomorrow? I just want to know. Because if we can look at an entire society of people that are openly comfortable with erasing another entire society of people for reasons of their very own, then where does this go from here? Where does this go from here? What are you following ass humans gonna do next? What y'all gonna agree to now tomorrow, man? I'm offended by that word. I'm offended by that flag touching the ground. I'm offended by them waving that. I'm afraid of all this. What y'all gonna agree to tomorrow, man? Prepare me so I can start getting angry already. Prepare me so I can start being indifferent already. It just gets to a point where, man, you get tired, bro. I look at young people and I realize they're new to a lot of things, man. So, like, just like I was when I was young, everything's new, you know. I was having a conversation with my buddy at the job, and I was telling her how tired I was of remakes. You know, like these movies, every other commercial of a movie or a TV show or anything is a brand that's already been thrown in your face at least 6 times in my lifetime. 41 years old, I'm seeing another Jurassic Park, another Beetlejuice, another Superman, another Aliens, another It. I mean, everything has been done before. Another Jurassic Park, another Snow White. There's nothing new really out there, right? But she was saying, no, I like it. It's because it's new to you. It's because you haven't been on Earth long enough for it to get tiresome. You haven't seen every cycle of Jurassic Park. You were watching Beetlejuice when you were like 4, and now you're 41 and they're still bringing out Beetlejuice. For young people, a lot of stuff, though they may have seen it once or twice, it's still fairly new. The cycle isn't so repetitive that it annoys them. I've gotten to a point in my life right now where a lot of stuff, bro, I don't want to see the same stuff no more. I don't care if it's done right or not. I just want to see something new. I don't want to see a remake no more. I'm tired of remakes, bro. I saw the first Final Destination. Why am I still watching Final Destination? But that's what's wrong with America. That's one of the many things that's wrong with America is everything's so capitalistic and it's so necessary that it be successful to nobody wants to try anything new. They just want to keep on sending the same stuff at you over and over again. Same brands over and over again. They'll come out with brand new cars that don't even look like the old cars. But they'll call it the same brand of car that's been around for 30 years, so you keep coming back and buying it. Like, it gets to a point where you get old, it gets tiresome. Like, I get it, man. Branding is important. It's a surefire bet to get people to come back. How many iPhones we've seen? iPhone 30X, 412. Bro, that's not an iPhone. This ain't nothing like the first iPhone. It's a whole different thing. Call it something else. But you're not going to do that because you're afraid if you do, I'm not going to go up in there and buy it. And this iPhone ain't nothing like the first iPhone. It don't even derive from the first iPhone. You're just calling it an iPhone because you're just bringing it out through the same company. Change every damn thing. It's an entirely different type of phone. But you ain't gonna call it nothing else because branding. I do it too. How many therapy sessions is this? I do it too. How many Kale is? But that's the society. That's where I'm from. That's what we do. We keep giving people the same thing over and over again. I was raised in that. It's what we know. And so as a result, you get tired of it and you realize you're reinforcing it at the same damn time. It's just laziness, bro. That's all it is. I tell you the truth, man. It just gets to a point where you just say, man, will somebody come out with something creative? Are there enough creatives out here to come up with something new for a damn change? Like, are we just gonna keep doing the same stuff over and over again? Keep recycling the same sounds? When somebody else come up with a new sound, now we want to sound like them in music. Kendrick came out with his album last January. Not everybody from the West want to sound like that same damn sound, speak with that same damn cadence. Don't you idiots have anything else new to give to the world? Instead of tracing every damn thing? Like, that's where my head at, man. That's where I'm at right now. Tired, man. Because you see what it boils down to. You see what the collection of all of this ultimately boils down to. Just a dystopian space where we allow people to treat people poorly. I mean, that's what it really boils down to. You ever wonder what something's building up to, right? Like when you go to the gym every day, you're trying to build up to look a certain way. You're trying to get your body right. You're trying to get your strength right. You want to feel a certain way when you do your exercise. So you keep building yourself up to that point. You know what I mean? What is all of this coming together to be? It's coming together to be the same old colonial mistreatment that we've been treating people 400, 500 years. We've been allowing this to happen, this cycle. We just mistreat people over and over. Just mistreat them, man. We give ourselves passes for mistreating people because my grandparents mistreated people. And we got away with it. We built wealth off mistreatment. Let's keep mistreating people. Push them away. Why? Because they crossed over my imaginary line without meeting my impossible criteria. So send them away and do it hard. Do it in a way that destroys their families. Do it in a way that makes it so that they never disrespect this goalpost that I keep moving. That ultimately makes it impossible for them not to disrespect it. Yeah, I know it takes a half a lifetime to get your papers, but you need your papers in order to be over here. Because I drew this line here. And I said so. Like, that's what it boils down to, us keep on making people like that feel like they're on top of the world. Keep on paying into everything they got going on. That's what all this keeps boiling down to. We just keep paying into those type of people. Wave my flag or else. Don't wave your flag. But if you do wave your flag, it better not touch the ground. Like, ah, man, what are you talking about? What idols are y'all worshiping now, man? What celebrity are you gonna worship now that ain't providing no type of substance to your life 9 out of 10 times? Halfway leading you to a path to your doom, but you love this mother. You love him, you love her. Ain't gave you nothing but the ideology that makes you hate yourself and never ever actually reach your goals. You reaching for stuff that's impossible, shunning other people because they can't reach it. Because of this asshole. But you love them, you worship them. They've been sending you the same movies, Star Wars. Y'all been standing outside for Star Wars. Every time a Star Wars come out, y'all stand outside for a month. A month and a half, y'all lay outside in the street. A shun a homeless person won't give them $1, but will play homeless for a month so that you can get to a movie. I've been watching people do this my whole life. This culture. Is it? Or do they just have your mind warped? And in having your mind warped, when they tell you to vote for this crazy racist bastard, you're going to vote for that crazy racist bastard. When they tell you to not stand up for those people, even though they ain't done nothing but be decent human beings, you ain't standing up for them. This is what it all comes together for. They gain your adoration and respect with this hand, and then they slap the shit out of you with the other one. And tell you it's your brother who did it. I'm over it. I'm beyond over it. Y'all ain't gonna have my esteem wrapped up in the crap that y'all do no more. That ain't never again. There's symbolisms and all this different talk about, oh, our forefathers died for that. No, my forefathers died for that. Your forefathers fought my forefathers so you can keep us in chains. Y'all ain't wasn't doing shit you was supposed to be doing. My forefathers fought because you forced them to, based on the imaginary lines that you drew, called your laws. It's the law. If you want your freedom, you gotta fight in our war. This war is trying to fight to keep us from getting freedom. Yeah, but if you want to have any chance of having freedom, you better get in and kill yourself for your freedom. But if I'm dead, I'm not free. Well, if you don't fight, you ain't free. Like, and 300 years later, I'm supposed to be adhering to their flag, putting my right hand over my heart or some shit. All the hypocrisy under God. Under God? What God is that? What God is that? The God of mistreatment? The God of stealing? The God of selective humanity? Which one is that one? I saw a meme made a lot of sense to me. If we were to follow American Christianity, in a lot of cases, not the Christianity that I follow, that actually believes in a kind-hearted Jesus Christ that loves people, but the kind that these Zionists follow, Christian Zionists follow, that agrees to treat people poorly in Jesus' name. And Jesus said, if you are sick, you better afford health care. Jesus said, if you are foreign, you better get your papers or else be sent away. I don't know that Jesus. That's not the Jesus I follow. That's not the one that I pray to. Man. He ain't never told people they gotta go away because they don't have paperwork. I ain't never heard no shit like that. What Jesus is that? What imaginary deity are you calling Jesus that you praying to that has you doing the opposite of what it is he's teaching all of us in the book? That's what I'm wondering. I just get to a point where it's like, yo, that hypocrisy, bro, I am not here for any of it. I don't agree with it. My people didn't benefit from it. A lot of us are brainwashed by it. I am over it. Over a cliff you follow you all, but I will not fall. I'm cool. If y'all want to keep following yourselves, each other across glass broken with your feet bare, go ahead. And y'all want to agree that them bleeding feet is a pillar of strength, y'all have at it, buddy. And that pain is something to aspire toward, or whatever warped backwardsness you would agree to, man, y'all have at it, bro. I'm cool. I know exactly what prompted me to those words. I was watching, it was a red light. He was standing on one side, there was a couple girls next to me, another guy, and then across the street, it was a guy, and then the guy across the street started walking. The light hadn't turned yet, but I guess he agreed in his mind that it was time to walk. He's the leader, right? And then the girls looked at each other, looked around, and it slowly but surely crept their stupid asses off the curb. And then the brother that was next to me crept his dumb ass off the curb. And that's when the words came to mind. Off of a cliff you follow you all, but I will not fall. I comfortably waited for the light to change and then walked across the street when it made sense, when it was safest for me to do so, and beat half of them across the street based on the timing of such and my walking speed. Got where they were going before they did. I'm not following y'all. This is a metaphor for how I want to live my life from here on out. I'm not following y'all. I'm not interested. Y'all want to follow each other off a cliff? You go at it. You want to follow yourself into the path of hell? That's on you, buddy. I am not a follower. My mother raised me with the understanding that I'm a leader. I didn't know what that meant. But what that means is you're just going to walk on your own. It don't mean that you got to drag other people with you. People going to follow you because people are followers. I ain't got to take nobody with me. I'm just walking as I walk. And as human beings see, they follow. That's what leadership means to me these days. You following, you following. You're not, you're not. I'm not following somebody else down the path of what they say is success. When they afraid to use their voice against genocide because they're trying to hold on to that success, you are bound by that success. It's not successful. You got to act like nothing is happening when horrible things are happening so you can keep that success. It's not successful. You're not free to keep it and be honest at the same time. You got to keep secrets in order for it to be fine. That's not success. If you can think with your own mind, that's not success. That's you following the measures of man. You can tell me I don't have it going on because I don't have a bunch of followers. I ain't going for a bunch of followers. I'm going for the right ones. If anything, the spirit that came to me in regards to my channel told me to keep it low. Keep a low profile. Don't try to get famous. But what it is you talk about and how you speak, it's not meant for everybody to hear you. It's meant for the chosen few, whoever they may be. Those are the measures that were given to me by something greater than myself. While y'all trying to chase one another. Listen to that conversation. Talked about that thing we were talking about earlier in the day. Them individuals in Vegas trolling one another, and ultimately one side got tired of the other and unalived the other side. And then listening to a conversation about that conversation, so to speak, well, the brother who was talking was saying, man, this one side only had 5,000 followers, the other side had 20,000. They're not really big YouTubers, but that is a still substantial size of people. I was like, that's a fact. They're not big, it's not that. But like when I look at myself, I'm like, I got about 550. But I'm more successful. Why? Because I'm doing what it is by the measures that I have for myself, I should be doing. Based on what it is that I've created in my own head as a measure of what success looks like for me, I'm able to use my voice freely. I'm not inconveniencing anybody with ad revenue or making it about money so that it compromises what I can say or what I choose to say. I'm not measuring myself based on the numbers increasing. I'm measuring myself based on my ability to articulate clearly to whoever's listening. And to be able to freely use my voice to stand up for the things that I believe in for whomever's listening. And to keep a low profile, so to speak, so that I'm not reaching individuals that ultimately shouldn't be reached by what it is I'm saying. These are measures that I got for myself. Measures. Y'all trying to get more, I'm trying to get quality. Y'all trying to follow each other down the measures of success that nobody questions, and I'm creating my own. Against the grain that you ultimately have for me to look at. And you will say, oh, he's a loser. Based on what y'all agreed to, yeah, I guess I'm not succeeding. If more means plus, that's good. But then you come to the measure of more money, more responsibility, more money, more problems, more attention, more likelihood you lose your, what's the word? Can't think of the word. But the ability to just walk amongst the street and not have nobody bother you. And having everybody all in your business, digging into your stuff. Trolling you all damn day just because you have more and they want enough. To make them feel like they're successful. So they use your image to gain their success by trolling you like homeboy did, who ended up shooting people to death. Or vice versa, I should say. I mean, it just gets to a point where it's like, yo, man, what are y'all measuring? What are y'all trying to do? Y'all following each other, right? More is success. More is success. But a lot of y'all who get more find yourself unhappy with it. I was listening to Brother Brown, Chris Brown. Y'all know I call him Brother Brown. And the story about him right now is that he like to go outside at night in different countries with a mask on, so he can feel like a regular person. The hell? He got to do that just to feel like a regular human being? Yes. Okay, so by the measures of that being something that is undesirable, he is failing. Because he's amassed so much that his life is not comfortable. He amassed so much attention to his mental health is affected by the presence of just leaving the house and going wherever he goes. So by the sake of what all of y'all agree to, in your godless way of doing things, being most famous is most successful, but when you get the most success, suddenly you're the most unhappy. How is that success? Privacy was the word I was looking for. The man don't have no privacy. And now look at what a guy like Puffy, the black billionaire, see what he did with his billions. He let his demons get out of control. Nobody was there to hold him accountable. Nobody was there to tell him no. And now he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail and all of his secrets out in the public. Everybody know about all his nasty, weirdo kink stuff. Man, all of that. Man, you trying to tell me he was successful? And that's what he's going to be remembered for after all the things that he did, all the things he accomplished, all the money he amassed. He don't get to die with any of that money. All of it's being wasted on all of this bullshit. He man going to die broke in jail. Likely. And disgraced. As a sicko. A sex sicko. Of all things. Did he win? Is that how you win the game? Is that success to y'all? That's what y'all trying to amass to? You trying to be Diddy? Or y'all gonna be different than Diddy when you have his circumstances, right? Think about Michael Jackson, one of my heroes. He tried to stand up for Palestine. And I read something that said he made a song about Palestine and everything went left after that. Not surprising, given how bad the Zio freaks hate Palestine. It's not surprising that Michael Jackson was ultimately faced with all that he was faced with right after making that song. And one of the last things he did, quote unquote, sane, was make that song. And all of a sudden he ended up spiraling into drugs and different stuff, and then spiraling in other aspects, and then spiraling all the way out to his death. Disgraced as a pedophile. Yeah, he made a song about Palestine, believe it or not. Right around the time he made I Don't Really Care, They Don't Really Care About Us. That song I like to reference. He made his Palestinian song after that. They canned it, and then everything went wrong after that. Like literally everything went wrong after that in his life. I keep telling y'all, a lot of the stuff that we have questions about in our society, a lot of this stuff leads back to Israeli Jews, Zionism, and all of the like. You want to know what happened to JFK? Don't look too further than them. You want to know what happened to 9/11? Don't look too further than them. You want to find out what happened to Michael Jackson? Don't look too further than them. They are attached to so very much that ultimately went wrong in our country. While everybody's trying to hurry up and amass the measures that they've put in place for you to have your success be given to you through them. No, thank you. No, thank you. If this is chestnut checkers, and those are the people I'm trying to get everything from, now that I know what they're doing, I know why I don't want anything that ultimately is considered success. I don't as much want to work for these people. I don't even want to be on the grid with these people. Before I even understood anything about genocide or anything, I was doing my best to hold shares at AMC. To fight who? These same people, as we've already talked about several times. AMC, GME, 8th Movement. It was the first real understanding of the corruption in place that ultimately they control. It was the first understanding that, yo, this is what's, all of this stuff is connected. Everything's connected. The people behind the curtain. That's what we call them, right? People behind the curtain. I was fighting them before I knew they were what they are. Before I even knew what the hell was going on, I was already at spiritual war with this energy. I'm telling you, man. You're gonna find out. They, yes, them, same ones, were the ones who owned the most slaves during the slave trade. Ashkenazi Jews, these same people were the ones who owned the most slaves during the slave trade. Come to find that out. It wasn't good old American whites. No, it was the little hats that owned the most slaves. The most. Why? Obviously, because they had the most money. They've been rigging the game since then. Why do you think they so damn wealthy now? They got old money. They had their hands and their feet and their heads and their asses dipped in every bit of the trauma. Every bit of it. I'm willing to bet they funded the slave ships, the first slave ships. I'm willing to bet they funded the first pilgrim ships. I'm almost positive it was them. Damn near positive. White supremacy has always had them behind them. It was never just the people in front of us who were presidents and all this and that. No, they were soldiers for these people here. That's what I've come to understand. They were always puppets and soldiers for these people here. That's why they had the leverage to push for their own state. They had been kicked out of everywhere they was at. How they find themselves getting kicked out of all them damn countries? How come they were always nomads? Because they were always discovered. Always discovered. They had the power, but they never had a land. That's the strangest thing in the world. They always had power as nomads doing all types of evil shit in the dark, but they never had nowhere to be. They never had a land of their own. And they don't understand how cursed they are because of that. You got all the power in the world, but you got to steal land, and you can't find yourself able to stand anywhere. Even the people you have working for you find ways to make a land their own, but you can't find a way to keep a land. Let me ask you something. Do you think you're going to keep the one you're trying to steal now? And you failed in every other opportunity to get a home, every other opportunity to find yourself enriched than anybody's land, and you think in 2025 you finally found a way, you're going to kill everybody in the middle of Palestine and take the land. What makes you think that this time you're going to be successful in that regard? That's what I'm going to ask them. You ain't been successful in none of them other times, but you're gonna be successful this time in this way. And I'm supposed to be following the measures of success set up by them. Anyway, praise God, man. That's literally it. The actual living God. You know, the one that they refuse to bow to because they have to be gods themselves, even though they don't even have a land or a home. And they're going to take everybody else's but still never actually have anything. They got everything but nothing at the same damn time. Now I'm supposed to fear them because all of us are lost doing their bidding for them. That's no. If you was a snake, if they were a snake, they would have bit you, America, UK, and all these other places that they ultimately have by the balls. You just got to stop doing their bidding. Stop measuring what success is for you based on the measures that they have set in place for you to reach through them to get. Nah, I'm cool. I'm good. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep my leverage. I'm going to be able to say whatever I want to say on my channel, right on the platform they control, right under their nose. And when I'm done talking, or when the Lord sees to it that I no longer have the ability to speak, I will have said everything I was supposed to say. When I'm done, when my life is supposed to be over with, I will go on the ground very comfortably knowing that while they were stealing from us, I was stealing back my freedom, and my freedom to measurements of success, freedom to measurements of created culture, freedom to love myself and take care of myself against that for which they gave me as poison to desire and crave. And I didn't hate my brother nor weaponize myself against people that look like me, like they trained us all to think and believe and do. I was hidden in plain sight. If I were a snake, I'd have bit them. And that's how I'm living. And with every passing day, I'm continuing to plant the seeds in the few who need to hear this, and they will spread that message to their children and spread that message to the leaders of tomorrow, and we will liberate ourselves from these Akanyazi, whatever you call them. For the first time in the history of mankind, we will not have them determining what success is for us. There will be freedom in the Middle East. There will be freedom in the Midwest. There will be freedom everywhere. We deserve that, humanity. We deserve that, people of color. We deserve that, good white people. We deserve that, man. We deserve to be free of these idiots without a home who've rigged the game because they feel they are chosen, and they're willing it so by way of all of our compliance and our adherence to a religion without a relationship with God. That's exactly how they done it. They removed God and they inserted religion. And that's why y'all end up moving against Jesus while saying you're doing it for Jesus. That's the presence of devilish confusion, ladies and gentlemen. I shun you in the name of Jesus. What did Jesus do? Not shun anybody? Exactly. And yet we do the opposite. Why? Because we agree. Yeah, nah, not me. Video 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.